Good morning, beautiful souls. I hope you're having a great start to your day. And I was just having some big conversations actually yesterday and today, and doing some pondering myself with this particular thing, which is your fears. Unconscious fears can play out in so many ways in our life and have us unconsciously or consciously trying to avoid this very thing. And what actually happens is, in trying to avoid ever feeling this particular way or experiencing this particular thing, you end up inadvertently creating it. Let me speak about what I'm kind of meaning here. Hey Sandra, great to have you on, darling. Take, for example, the feeling of not feeling enough. Often when we've got this, we try and avoid this fear of feeling that we're not enough. We're trying to push the experience away. And in doing so, what we end up doing is trying to prove that we're enough. So we go out into the world and, maybe we're studying extra things or doing extra things or trying to prove our significance or trying to prove our worthiness or our deservingness through, getting better and better job promotions or being the best spouse or the best partner that we can possibly be. It might be through perfectionism, through the body image. It could be in so many different ways that we are constantly trying to prove finally that we're enough. But this is kind of like a bag that's tied to our hip, and every time you look back, it's just right there. And you're running all this time only to find that it is just there. Hey Amanda, great to have you on. And this is why this can be so painful, is because nothing you do externally can ever have you step away from that fear. Nothing is ever going to cure that. It's like being on a hamster wheel continually. And all that actually happens is you inadvertently keep creating this thing of feeling that you're not enough. Because when you're on this hamster wheel, it's like, oh, I'll do this. Oh, but I still feel like I'm not enough. And then it ends up feeling like it doesn't matter what I do, I still don't feel enough. Can you see how a fear, when it is unconsciously avoided, like it's there and you're trying to constantly escape it, you're running the whole time unconsciously, energetically, trying to get away from this thing, trying to avoid this thing, trying for this thing not to happen. Yet it keeps showing up and you keep creating the same thing again and again. And with that feeling, law of attraction brings more of that to us. So then we have other people giving us the feedback that, hey, you're not enough. Hey, you didn't do this, or hey, you didn't do that. When now we're attracting criticism and wondering what the hell is going on. I'm doing all these things. I'm doing more than I've ever done and I still don't feel enough. Hey, Leslie, great to have you on. Another example might be feeling unlovable. So what do we do when we're trying to avoid the fear of being unlovable or feeling that we're not, lovable enough? You might be people pleasing. You might be going and doing all of these things, taking care of people, taking extra care of people to finally feel that you're lovable enough. All the while, you are abandoning yourself and not feeling loved. In fact, you're probably feeling taken advantage of by others because you keep giving in an attempt to fulfill the need to feel finally lovable enough. But all this does is keep creating the same cycle. Can you see how this is a hamster wheel? Another thing might be, fear of losing someone that you love. So what do? We hold back. We don't open our heart. We don't love fully because we're so scared that if we finally love and deeply love, that we're going to lose that person or lose that love. And so we hold back. We never actually open our heart and thus never getting to experience the fullness of love. This is how all of these fears, when we're unconsciously or even consciously trying to avoid these fears, that we keep self-creating these same experiences. That is the fear, rinse and repeat again and again, getting into our life and feeling so frustrated as a result of this. And As always, the answer lies within. And it's doing the deep inner work. It's healing these beliefs that are there in the first place, because they're all self-creative. And, fear or love is self-creative. It is an attraction force. We are a magnet by the energy with which we're experiencing every day, by the emotion that we're experiencing every day. We attract into our life that which is representative of feedback of how we're actually feeling. So whatever we're feeling emotionally, we will attract more of that into our life. And, there's been all sorts of scientific evidence around this. It sounds woohoo or out there, but I can promise you, I have experienced this again and again on repeat, as well as so many of my clients. And that is why I'm so passionate about sharing a tip, sharing a tool, a strategy that you can apply for the rest of your life in order to overcome these beliefs and to shortcut the system to come back to getting to receive the feeling now in this moment without anything needing to change or be different, including yourself. And it is an amazing tool. It's an amazing skill that you can use for life. And I'm running a 5-day event, 15 to 30 minutes each day, in order to get to some of these root core beliefs that have you feeling this way, that have all of these other coping mechanisms where you're trying to push the experience away and never experience it, where you don't have to do that anymore. And a lot of these coping mechanisms can be, really detrimental and in direct conflict with our internal values as well. Things like emotional eating. If you value your health and yet you find yourself emotionally eating. If you value finances and, taking care of your finances and having a greater sense of financial security, but you're overspending on a daily or regular basis. Gambling, drinking alcohol, all of these things are aversions, they're coping mechanisms in trying to avoid the pain that has always been there, that you are unconsciously trying to run from. And when you deal with these things, when you dive to the root cause of what's really causing these things, you get to experience a freedom, a lightness, a liberation that you can return to again and again and again anytime these beliefs come up, and free yourself to live a truly creative life where now you're opening your heart and you're creating from a place of love, not trying to avoid a pain in your life. So if that is you, if that resonates for you, I absolutely know how important this work is. I have done it again and again in my own life to free myself again and again from unwanted thoughts, from painful thoughts or beliefs, and some of the deepest fears that can kind of permeate our system. And I'm inviting you to step into this space. Honestly, this course is a bargain at $297, but I am offering it for a limited time only for $27. It's a 5-day online event. I'll drop the details below. Let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to see you guys in there. It is so, so, so vitally important. Honestly, and whether it's with me, whether it's with somebody else, but make sure that you show up and you do this inner work for yourself, guys. It's so liberating, so freeing. And like I said, until we actually free ourselves from these beliefs, we will unconsciously keep recreating these situations and circumstances in our life just through that fear that's showing up that we're trying to avoid. Have a great day. Loads of love. Bye.